Can I welcome to the stage now Rachel Botsman, who you've just been talking about collaborative consumerism, and also Jonathan Marshall, consumption. Sorry. Come and join us up here, and we're going to remember that if you want to ask any questions throughout this, Cara is here, so you can get a question here. Do come and ask. I think that the topics that were touched on by Jonathan and Rachel are very accessible ones, which I'm sure lots of people here would be interested to ask a question. So please do come up with a question. Now, can I start with you, Rachel, just quickly? This collaborative consumption, how much does it actually threaten the kind of existing way we trade in our stores and this? Or is it just a kind of tack on? Does it really change the way we buy things and we consume?
Short answer, yes. I mean, just to stick with cars, it's phenomenal how much that sector's being disrupted by peer-to-peer behaviors. The question I often get asked is what's it gonna happen to companies that sell a lot of products? And it's interesting because the way our economy is structured is on the number of units sold. And I think what we need to actually make a shift is thinking about service units and micropayments. And there you have a new consumer system.
So are you talking about that if something's kind of purchased initially and then handed on, that the person that kind of gets it should make another small payment for it? Almost like we don't buy things, but we rent them constantly.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, there's different types. There's the swap trading that I talked about, which is literally passing items on like a product chain. Then there's actually sharing items, and they might be owned by a company or they might be owned by yourself. And then there's things that aren't products at all. Like I love Airbnb, where you can rent out your spare room when you're not using it. It's like, I can't remember the person that talked about the stadium that sits there empty. That's got idling capacity. We need to be using this stuff.
Yeah, okay. So I, by the way, do have a power drill, which is one of the big examples. I have one I'm not using. So with that example, somebody's asking, do you then hire that off somebody else? It's like you pay your neighbour and go, can I borrow your power drill for a bit? Is that the idea?
It's not quite like that. There's loads of apps actually already out there where you can log on, say where you live, list what you have to share, and then you're matched with someone looking for a power drill. So that could be someone that lives up the road, or it could be someone that lives a mile away. So there's sites like Zilog that do it really well. Yeah,
okay. Well, I know that we're running a bit behind here in Sydney. We have almost no bike sharing, although they keep talking about it. We're like behind the entire world on that. I'm just going to go over to Cara. Cara, we've got a question from the...
Yes, we've got a question from Philippe for Rachel.
Yeah. Is this collaborative system works in the third world in terms of goods and stuff like Zipcar?
Does it work in the third world? Yeah. It's a great question. To be honest, my research hasn't focused on the third world. I've focused on the hyper-consumer system. But bike-sharing schemes and shared resources are actually very prominent in the third world. I mean, it's like I was talking about, they share in villages. But what we're seeing happening in the developed world is technology bringing back those behaviors.
Excellent.
Hello, Rachel. I'm a conservationist, but also I'm a bowerbird. I collect things. I have an attic and I have a basement. I have willed them to my son-in-laws. They look on with horror. How can you give me the simple basic steps of how I can get my rubbish out to the rest of the world? I have 2 canoes, 2 kayaks, 15 tents, 20 sleeping bags. I have this accumulation of fishing rods, all sorts of gear. But how do I get it to the general public? Thank you.
Dear stuff addict, I think you need to get your children to help you. Are you listening to my answer? Yes, thank you.
He's running away. He's got a purchase on one of the kayaks. So
I don't give free advice. No, no. No, seriously, there's tons of sites. I mean, if you literally just want to get rid of the stuff, use FreeCycle, which is basically gifting. If you want to earn some money from it, use eBay. My husband behind you will tell you I'm a little bit of an addict, and he's actually got a pile of do not recycle or sell my stuff. There's also sites like Craigslist and Gumtree. There's hundreds of them.
I'm not sure if our audience can help us out on this. Are you aware of any Australian sites like the ShareTree? Is anyone aware of that happening here? We seem to be a little bit behind in Australia, don't we? I'm not aware of ShareTree. We're pretty much just left with garage sales out the front of our houses at the moment. But I'm sure we'll catch up after that speech. To what extent do you actually think that this does have an environmental aspect, that it does actually have a big, way to actually stop us buying things and throwing them out constantly and actually reduce our consumerism?
No, it's a really good question. I mean, I think it does it on a couple of fronts. I think it makes us much more aware of the stuff that we buy and we keep and we don't really need. But also, when you look at different systems, like I think I had FreeCycle, the number of items that are traded in FreeCycle are 7 times the amount of Mount Everest in 1 year. And all of that stuff is kept out of landfill. So just in that example, you've got huge environmental impact.
Yeah, it's quite amazing. And just, Jonathan, to come back to you, I know that one of your other areas of study is in the kind of, I guess, the effect of computers on people in their work and their environment. And it's interesting, because Rachel here has got, obviously quite a positive aspect to our computers about becoming more interconnected and always about our computers. Is that being the result of your study, or are you finding the more negative aspect?
Well, basically I'm researching the way that software makes things more complicated. As you probably all know, when you have an upgrade, somehow things seem to run slower. It doesn't do what you want to do. Quite often it can be very disconnecting. In the workplace, you'll suddenly find you've got more work to do, and again, the software doesn't actually allow you to do it. It's being planned by somebody who doesn't know what you do and who hasn't bothered to ask you, or has asked somebody who would rather you did more work than you're doing at the moment. So, though there is this and also, the other thing to remember is that computer networks are breaking down and do break down a lot. Major banks have problems with their software several times a week. The whole of our financial structure is based on inaccurate models that don't work. And so the whole system, as well as connecting everybody, by connecting everybody, it also makes it more fragile, because we all constantly risk the whole thing breaking down, falling apart.
Well, there you go. We've got the positive and the negative computers, and at the end they're going to fight to the death and see who's right. But it's interesting you do say about trust there, about trust, because trust is a big part of what you're talking about, isn't it? So how do you take on that? Jonathan's talking about the risks we take, but you're saying in actual fact these trust mechanisms are built up, which may mean that the risk is not there as much.
Yeah, I mean, the trusting is fascinating. I mean, if you look at reputation systems, like on eBay, what we're discovering is that we can actually the way we form trust in real life can actually be replicated through technology. So you can motivate the bad behaviors, motivate the good behaviors and weed out the bad. And it's phenomenal how quickly spammers get flagged and pulled out the community. But I just wanted to clarify something. I'm not advocating that everyone sits online swapping their stuff. I actually believe in using the internet to get off the internet to form a better society. So I'm not a tech geek in that sense, okay?
And also the other thing to remember is if reputation becomes such a big thing, then faking reputation and hacking reputation will become a big thing as well, because that's the basis of your survival.
I think those people will get weeded out. I genuinely think that we'll have a reputation statement, like a credit card history, and you'll get banned.
Yeah, but what about those people who have a bad reputation created for them because other people don't like them? That's also a problem.
As I said, the positive thing, they'll be continuing this argument near the bathrooms afterwards. Thank you so much to Jonathan and Rachel.
Thank you.
Appreciate so much you joining us.